The young man was meeting his wealthy and powerful future father-in-law for the first time. But as soon as he stepped through the door, the butler subjected him to a full-body search. Not only that, but the butler also handed him a blue work uniform, claiming it was to prevent his clothes from getting dirty since the hallway was under renovation. To make things even more awkward, the father-in-law laid everything out on the table. His family background, social connections, bad habits, and even the scars on his body had all been thoroughly investigated. The young man was dumbfounded. This wasn't just meeting the parents. It felt like stepping into an intelligence agency. However, the father-in-law hadn't actually read the file and instructed the butler not to reveal its contents to anyone. As long as William passed his test, he would approve of him as his son-in-law. If he failed, he would open the file and reconsider whether William was worthy of his daughter. Just then, a maid walked over with a phone. It was his daughter calling. She said she had been delayed and wouldn't be arriving yet, so she asked her father to take good care of her boyfriend. After hanging up, the father-in-law asked his first question, "What do you want from my daughter?" William didn't answer directly because he had already realized that the man in front of him wasn't actually his girlfriend's father. Earlier, when the butler poured coffee for the supposed father-in-law, he didn't ask if he wanted sugar, a mistake no experienced butler would make. When William exposed this, a man in a red suit suddenly stood up from behind. That was the real father-in-law. William had passed the first test, but the second one followed immediately. The father-in-law asked if he had sneaked a glance at the attractive maid earlier. William denied it, but the butler stepped forward to testify against him. He claimed that while William was on the phone with his girlfriend, his gaze had lingered on the maid for a few seconds. Without hesitation, the father-in-law ordered the butler to shoot him on the spot. William panicked, exclaiming, "If I die, how will you explain it to your daughter?" But the father-in-law had already thought of a plan. First, his daughter didn't know that William had arrived yet. Second, the blue work uniform he was wearing meant that the household staff would assume he was just an electrician, not her boyfriend. Third, they would dispose of his body nearby and blame it on a local junkie. William shouted that the whole thing was unfair. "If you're playing chess with someone who doesn't know the rules, does winning even count?" Hearing this, the father-in-law decided to give him another chance. On their way, William noticed a valuable painting that caught his eye. When they reached the basement, a young man covered in bruises was tied to a chair, his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend. She had suffered domestic abuse at his hands, and when her father found out, he personally led a team to storm the ex-boyfriend's house, killed the security guards, kidnapped him, and took the painting to make it look like a burglary. Now, the father-in-law handed William a gun. "Kill him," he said. "Prove to me that you truly love my daughter."